What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with another video. It's the last Dynamite of 2022 and AEW is celebrating with its New Year's Smash edition of its flagship show. Join us now as we look at this week's edition of Dynamite, as well as the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including, is this a Royal Rumble winner? CM Punk not done? WWE signs a luchador sensation? Brock Lesnar gets called out, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new channel, Wrestlelamia Shorts. As always, we won't recap the matches, but just look at the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. As always, we start off with the good as number 1, The Elite versus Death Triangle saved the show. A last night's Falls Count Anywhere match between the Elite and Death Triangle saved New Year's Smash from spiraling into mediocrity. The two trios teams of Best of 7 series has been everything the fans have expected, delivering fast-paced action and setting the bar for future trios matches. While the two teams may have set the bar a bit too high, it's unlikely AEW will book future programs with the Best of 7 series. These matches have helped build a trios division while also reminding fans how good the Elite are. Number 2, good build-up for next week. Last night's Dynamite was average, but AEW did give fans a lot of reason to tune in next week as the show will feature some big bouts. Having wrestlers talk up their matches provided balance, as did the use of angles to build up other matches. AEW also promoted Rampage, a show the company seems to be working on improving. Number 3, Anna Jay and Tay Melo are a good tag team. Jay and Melo put in a solid effort last night, reminding fans that they're more than the Jericho Appreciation Society's eye candy. Kudos to Willow Nightingale and Ruby Soho, who have quickly gone from a makeshift team into a team worth keeping an eye on. Although AEW has 2 women's singles titles, the promotion's women's division is finally improving to the point where it's time for a women's tag team title. This could add variety to the women's division and give its female competitors a chance to showcase their skills and or hone their craft in tag team wrestling. Number 4, AEW building up new angles. A New Year's Smash was a night of marquee matches, but it was no holding pattern show either because AEW took the time to further ongoing storylines. Whether it was Ricky Starks promising retribution on Chris Jericho, the Guns mentioning FTR, or Swerve Strickland boasting of taking out Keith Lee, AEW reminded fans of what's important and giving them reasons to stay tuned. And AEW trying to get undercard talent over. AEW deserves credit for continuing to work on getting undercard talent over. While wrestlers like Ethan Page and Top Flight come up short against their main event opponents, they did look strong in defeat. These were entertaining matches, but they were not marquee matches, a reminder of the tightrope promoters walk in trying to get undercard talent over while producing engaging TV. It's too early to tell if this experiment will work, but AEW deserves an A for effort. But that was a good. What about the bad? Is number 1, a new low for Wardlow. Samoa Joe is a good opponent for Wardlow and easily the best one he's had since Wardlow turned babyface. Nonetheless, AEW's treatment of Mr. Mayhem has reduced him to a mere mortal, another example of how AEW can't or won't utilize big men such as Brian Cage, Lance Archer, and Big Bill. Having Wardlow get his ponytail cut was bad enough, but using it as a springboard for a Darby Allin vs Samoa Joe match was downright emasculating for Wardlow. Number 2, a less than special edition of Dynamite. Last night's Dynamite wasn't a misfire, but it certainly didn't warrant the New Year's Smash label. Booking special editions of a TV show is smart when it's executed properly, such as Grand Slam. Nevertheless, don't slap a fancy name on an average show unless you want to burn up your goodwill with the fans. And did we need another Hook squash match? And we understand that Hook has his fans and his detractors, but did we really need another Hook squash match? Even though the match was designed to set up the post-match angle between the Firm and babyfaces Jungle Boy and Hook, the match was a waste of time. AEW needs to use its TV time carefully, and it really failed here. There was nothing downright ugly, just an average show that seemed more like a preview for the first Dynamite of 2023 than a special in its own right. But what you guys think of Dynamite last night? Let us know in the comments down below. Now let's move on to the news. Atop in today's news, Cody Rhodes is expected to win the 2023 Royal Rumble. Atop in today's news is a report that Cody Rhodes is the odds-on favourite to win this year's Men's Royal Rumble, at least according to the betting site Bet Online. Ringside News is reporting Cody Rhodes is the favourite to win the Men's Royal Rumble match next year. On the women's side, Becky Lynch is the current favourite. Now it's worth noting that the site has Sami Zayn as their second pick, followed by The Rock. Next up, Brock Lesnar called out. Drew McIntyre is calling out Brock Lesnar for the 2023 Royal Rumble. Drew recently chatted with the Sony Sports Network about a bout with Brock. I'll take him at the Royal Rumble 2023. I want to get the extra victory over Brock. If Brock and I cross paths again, it's going to be a battle. While Drew and Brock could meet up in the Men's Rumble, some fans believe Bobby Lashley has unfinished business with Brock Lesnar and their rubber match could take place at the Rumble. Next up, is CM Punk down for reconciliation with the Elite? And you may recall our story from yesterday where Dax Harwood pleaded on his podcast for Punk and the Elite to make amends for the betterment of the business. The Pro Wrestling Podcast posted a snippet of Dax's dialogue via Instagram and CM Punk replied, "Duh." Does this mean that Punk would like to reconcile, or is he just acknowledging the obvious? Either way, you can be sure this one is going to be talked about by fans. Next up, Dragon Lee signs with WWE. It's big news for Lucha fans as WWE has signed luchador sensation Dragon Lee. Lee told ESPN's Mark Raimondi that he signed a deal with the promotion and that he's expected to start in NXT in January of 2023. The 28-year-old luchador was the Wrestling Observer newsletter's 2014 Rookie of the Year and has won championships around the world, including New Japan Pro Wrestling, CMLL, and AAA. Dragon Lee is confident of his abilities, claiming, "I think I can become the new Rey Mysterio in WWE. I just need the opportunity." The WWE seems enthusiastic about its latest signing, and the ESPN report quoted James Kimball, head of WWE's talent strategy and operations. The WWE seems enthusiastic about its latest signing. WrestleVotes tweeted, "I'm told WWE is hopeful of the signing of Dragon Lee is the start of a standout talent agreeing to terms with the company. He and Triple H and crew have expectations to land other high-quality names early in 2023. Meltzer discussed the signing on the Wrestling Observer Radio, suggesting that the WWE wasn't interested in Dragon Lee until he appeared on AEW. Like with Bandito, WWE's interest in Dragon Lee came when they found out that AEW put this guy on television with no contract, so it was kind of like, we can swoop in. That was one of the things. They came in after that deal, and right after that he was signed, but he was signed a couple of weeks back. That was the catalyst of it, was him finding out that AEW put a guy on television with no deal. It'll be interesting to see whether Tony Khan puts wrestlers on TV without signing them to contracts, but Meltzer noted that Dragon Lee signed an NXT deal which is far less money than the main roster one. Next up, good news for Gunther. It's good news for Intercontinental Champion Gunther as the leader of Imperium has surpassed the 200-day mark as champion. The WWE has worked hard to restore the IC Championship into its original role as a workhorse title designed to showcase in-ring excellence. For those keeping track, the record of the longest reign is still held by the Honky Tonk Man, whose single reign lasted an astonishing 454 days. Next up, WWE 2K23 news and rumors. Are gamers and wrestling fans curious about when to expect from 2K's WWE 2K23 take notice, as we are hearing more news and rumors about the game. Fightful's Sean Ross Sapp is reporting, Fightful was told that we could expect some WWE 2K updates in January, whether they'll be official announcements or anonymously sourced. It's worth noting that the Twitter account WWE 2K23 News posted the following on 17th December. For your information, there won't be anything notable until the end of January. You may recall earlier reports that 2K22 was a success for 2K. WrestleNomics' Brandon Thurston reported on this, and the game was expected for March 2023. It appears that the fans who enjoyed WWE 2K22's My Faction mode will get to play it in the upcoming game. My Faction was similar to the NBA My Team mode in NBA 2K22. It allowed gamers to build their own 4-person faction from existing wrestlers. In addition, they could accumulate points through various matches and goals, acquiring packs of content and various wrestlers. Players could also buy these packs through microtransactions. As 2K23 News tweeted, expect My Faction to be pushed even harder in 2K23. The mode surpassed expectations in terms of in-game revenue for 2K22. 2K22 helped restore fans' faith in the WWE's wrestling game simulators after its 2K20 debacle. The return of the popular GM mode was welcomed by fans, and hopefully 2K23 will feature further improvements. It'll also be interesting to see whether AEW gets its Fight Forever game before 2K23. Next up, Toxic Attraction circling the drain. And what's going on with Toxic Attraction now that their leader Mandy Rose has gone from WWE? While fans may be concerned the group's future is in doubt, Dave Meltzer is reporting that the WWE had plans to promote them to the main roster without Mandy Rose. Meltzer pointed out on the Wrestling Observer Radio that the plan is to bring Toxic Attraction up to the main roster without Mandy Rose anyway. This is a good sign for Dolan and Jane as a talented duo that could help expand the WWE's women's tag division and shake things up with their attitude. Would you guys like to see them on the main roster? Let us know in the comments down below. I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.